Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bragging About Cinema. Have you ever had a friend that you haven't seen in a long time? Finally, you come together, and there's always that awkward, like, I haven't seen you in a while, a little feeling each other out. And then after a while, a couple hours, you start talking. And then the spark comes back, and you realize why you're friends, and you're just so excited to be back with this friend. Well, that is how I felt about Stranger Things. The first couple episodes, it had been so long since the last season that I wasn't like in the Stranger Things mindset. But then after a bit, once I got into it, I felt like, oh yeah, this is home, and I love this show. Season 4 wins the longest episodes of a show that I can remember. This was the fun 80s nostalgia that it's always been. The kids are now in high school, and of course, you've got the kids splintering off into different groups, not exactly being the friends that they were when they were the young kids. I do think it's cool that some are in the Hellfire Club. I wasn't sure if that was a play on the X-Men Hellfire Club. Didn't really seem like it. So one thing that I had a hard time with about this show is the squad's not back together. And I realize there's only a few more episodes that are coming out on July 1st. So I'm really hoping the squad gets back together. But it was interesting seeing them struggle in a normal setting at first before the supernatural stuff took over. Eleven doesn't have her powers, and she doesn't know quite how to be that normal kid. And of course, the little teenage romances are all over the place, or some of them have broken up. And it's also interesting to watch Hawkins repair itself from all the supernatural stuff that has gone on while new stuff pops up and they're still not recognizing that it's possible.
I don't have my powers.
It took all the way, and this is a spoiler review as well. I'm sure most of you have already watched it, and I'm sure you're not watching this video to determine if you're going to watch it or not. And if you are, I would just say I really liked it. If you like Stranger Things, keep watching. Now, to talk about it, it wasn't really clear what this season was about until the very last episode, and really this is a prequel, or not a prequel. This is the introduction to how the Upside Down was created. And I called it on who that bad guy was. I called it about the 6th episode. I was like, I think that's the guy in the Upside Down that's really running things. It was great to see the Freddy Krueger actor pop in. That was fun. And I loved watching the basketball team and the nerds not kind of coexisting. I thought that was kind of funny. This season definitely upped the ante of the horror quite a bit. It was definitely not a little kids show. Not that it really was, but the maturity level amped up. And I thought there was a good amount of scare versus gore, where sometimes when I was younger, I would go to the video store and I would go straight to the horror section every time. As I've gotten older, I've found that I just don't enjoy those kind of movies as much. I don't know if my imagination just isn't as wild as it used to be. And I don't know why I don't enjoy them as much, but I thought the horror in Stranger Things, and maybe that's the nostalgia piece, but I actually enjoyed it. You have your characters doing things that they shouldn't be doing. You got the heroes trying to jump in and take on the bad guy, even though they're not quite ready. So I really enjoyed that, and watching the kids go into the Upside Down, try to figure out what's going on. And this is without 11, because they've always had their superpowered friend. And this time she is off trying to get her powers back. The other kind of side story is they're trying to rescue Hopper. And, I'm hoping this all ties back in together, because it really seemed like almost a side quest that Hopper's alive. So we're going to fly out to Russia, take on all these Russian bad guys. And they have their own Demogorgon. And the kids don't actually know where the mom is. And they're not even focused on that. And she's been a part of all the supernatural parts in all the other seasons. So I'm hoping that there's a payoff and it all makes sense at the end. Because right now it really seems like kind of a side quest. Now we know he'll probably come in, he'll have to save the day at some point. But I'm really hoping the kids are the ones that save the day. I hope the squad gets completely back together. My favorite new character is definitely Eddie Munson. He's the outcast who listens to metal and everyone accuses him of being the Satan worshiper because he enjoys playing D&D. When you watch the show, do you think back, oh yeah, I had a friend like that, or I had friend, or my friends were like that? Some of my kids enjoy playing D&D, so I thought it was quite funny, although I wouldn't put them in the Eddie Munson category. His character has definitely been a blast, and I like the revelation where he comes out and is like, hey, I may play a tough guy, but I don't think I would have been the hero to jump in the water. And then you kind of see the nerds and the geeks and the jocks all coming together. Overall, this season is definitely an A. It started out a little slow as we were kind of, getting warmed up with each other. I like that each character is kind of growing on their own. They're all changing. Dustin's really trying to become the hero and lead the group. And the other guys are, trying to do a long distance friendship. It's not working. And think of how difficult it was back then. You had to write letters. And I had to think, why aren't they just calling on the phone? But then I remembered long distance calling was a thing. So that's probably why they're not calling on the phone. So did you watch Stranger Things this weekend? And did you prefer Stranger Things or Kenobi? I was curious going into the weekend. I chose Kenobi because Star Wars is the love of my cinematic life. And but Stranger Things has been really lets me refocus on my childhood. So Stranger Things has a special place in my cinematic viewing as well. So what did you think? Do you think this was as good as the other seasons? Do you think the show is starting to get a little bit repetitive, having the same types of villains, or are you satisfied with the kind of origin story of the Upside Down? Once again, now we know kind of the grand master plan, and you can kind of see how the show is going to end. Is going to be a final showdown between 11 and 1, I'm assuming that's when they're going to end the Upside Down, and there'll be nothing left, because I believe the next 2 episodes are the last. But I'm not sure. We'll have to check in on that and verify. But the good news is I'm going to be right here. I'm going to give you a review. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Hopefully, after I give you my thoughts, you give me your thoughts down below. Hit that subscribe button, a thumbs up, a like. You can even give me a thumbs down so I know you're out there and you're saying, hey, bragging about cinema. You got to pick up your game, because when I watch your videos, I want to find something to brag about.